Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. Please don't believe I was going to let this day go by without getting into these Friday soaps because they were great. You know what? I'm going to give Victor a 10 for Days of Our Lives. So this is What Happened on the Soap Days of Our Lives edition. Today is June the 24th, 2022, Friday. And I'm going to give Victor a 10 and he could just share it with everybody else because Victor had me cracking up today on this soap. So we start out with he and Maggie talking, and she says, "Victor, you gotta get over it." And I was like, "What's wrong with Victor?" And he's upset because Sean done had this baby with Jan. I said, "Well, I understand. I understand." So he all upset about this and everything. And Maggie's like, "You gotta get over it." And then, she's upset about Abigail. And they both said, they could offer words of wisdom and advice, but they're saying, but not right now. They don't need us right now. But she said, but we need each other. So then here come Bunny and Nancy. And so Bunny brought Nancy by because she wanted to show her Maggie's antiques. Is it antiques? She said, yeah, the little antiques and all that. And then she wanted to play cards or whatever. And so Victor, it was awkward, but Nancy was like, Bunny was like, do y'all want to play cards? And Maggie was like, yes, I would. And Victor was like, really? We don't want to play with them. But she said, yeah, let's go play. So when they went to go and play cards and everything, right? So they're playing cards, and baby, Victor had me hollering. He was going off on Nancy, like he was really getting into Nancy. He made a few shots at Bunny, but really he was going off on Nancy. So they playing or whatever, and Nancy said, "I'm sorry about Abigail and all that," and then she tells Victor, "I'm sorry about Philip," and he said, "Chloe is just heartbroken." Just said Chloe was still, upset about it. He said, "Yeah, I'm sure she is. And she can find comfort in Brady's bed or whatever." I said, "Now, Victor, that was not called for." And so he just started going off on, about Chloe and how she turns men into drug addicts and all this kind of stuff. And then so Nancy was like, "I had enough. I'm going on my date." And they was like, "Who you date? You got another date with Clyde?" And he was like, "Clyde?" I was like, "Now, girl, you can do better than that." I'm sorry. It was something about him on this episode. He had me rolling. But anyways, Maggie walks Nancy out or whatever because he told her, "Now you could do better than Clyde." He said, "I'm just trying to warn you or whatever." And then they went in the game. And Nancy was like, "I'm ready to go." And so Maggie was like, "I'm gonna walk you out because Victor about to find himself in the guest bedroom if he keep on insulting you like this." So, anyways, she ends up leaving, and so that leaves Bunny and Victor to talk. And she tells him, he says, "I'm in a crabby mood." She said, if my grandson had a baby by Jan Spears, I'd be in a crabby mood as well." And so she started making this alien reference about she's just so boring. Everybody knows what she's gonna do and all that stuff now. And Victor was like, "Huh, Bunny Lockhart, God was having some wisdom and all that." I said, "Lord, let's move on, y'all." So then we see who do we see? Belle. So we see Belle is talking to Sean. They ran into each other at the hospital. Remember, Sean was going to get Jan something to eat. Thank you for somebody who reminded me that the episodes be on Hulu, because y'all know they get interrupted yesterday with the hearings. But I did remember last night, it was like 11 something. I had finally got that little girl to sleep. And so I was like in the bed and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I wanted the episode come on." So by the time I got done with it, it was like midnight. Because I don't know. It was like it's like when I'm in bed and I'm watching TV. I remember everything I have to do. Like I was in the middle of watching it, then I got up and straightened up my living room because oh my gosh, I clean up my living room like 3-4 times a day because every time I clean it because our toys are all in it. Anyways, it was too late to do a review. I was like, well, it's the next. By the time I got to watching it, it was like midnight. It was the next day, and I said, we won't do a review. We just gonna catch up tomorrow. So, anyways, we see Sean and Belle because remember Sean was going to get Jan something to eat, and Belle was there. I can't. Oh, she was there to speak to her mama about Chad. To get therapy for Charlotte and Thomas, and so They run into each other, and Sean is, and they're talking, and he thought she came to see him, and she said, "No, I came because of Chad and them." And he was like, "How are they doing?" And then, she just telling him there, how everything is going, and she wants her mom to help him or everything. And so then he tells her that, because she said something about Jen going back to prison. He said, "No, she's actually staying." And she said, "What? The warden? What is he, some kind of woke warden? How did he know that, to let her breastfeed and all that?" He said, Kayla spoke to him. And so she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna speak to Kayla because he's telling her that Janet's gonna stay. She's not going back to prison." And so I said, "Sean, go and tell Belle that you're the one who started put this in motion." And so finally she said, so finally he told her, "I did it. I'm the one who talked to Kayla to ask." And she said, "What?" He said, "Belle, the baby is premature and he needs her breast milk." Because that's what Jan had told Sean. She was like, "You, how many times trips you gonna make to bring the baby my breast milk and all that?" And so that's why Jan gets to stay longer. And so Bella's just like, "I cannot." And then she asked, "What did you name the baby?" And he said, "Sean." And she said, "All right, I'm done." And he trying to talk to her. She said, "No, no, 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 I'm done." And so she said, "I gotta go talk to my mama." So she left him to go talk to her mama. And then while she's doing that, then she goes over to EJ. And so, EJ is on the phone with Chad, and he's just talking to Chad, and Chad is saying, he's not doing well. Of course he's not. And so he was like, "Anything you need, just let me know." And so Belle tells EJ that she had been over there and, talking to Marlena, and she's going to stop by. She's going to go home because that's where they are at Marlena's. And she's going to, talk to him and everything. Now, EJ had been with Clyde earlier because he saw Clyde had a bag of jewelry. Now, but he didn't know it was a bag of jewelry. He thought it was a gun. Now, remember yesterday's episode, we saw Leo had Abigail's jewelry, and he tried to sell it to Clyde. And so Clyde took the jewelry from him, and he's gonna try to see who they can sell it to or whatever. All right, y'all caught up. So then we see that EJ is accusing Clyde of doing something to Abigail, and he said, "Is that a gun in that bag?" And Clyde tells him that's not your business. But he just tells him, "If I was going to be sending you a message or whatever, you would know it was from me." And he said, "Plus, you told me that you weren't going to tell anybody anything about what we did yesterday. And I mean, what we, about, all his, EJ told Clyde he would not tell anybody about him trying to kill him and all that kind of stuff." And he said, "So as long as you ain't tell anybody, then we're all good." And, he did tell Belle, but he ain't going to tell Clyde he told her. So he said, "I haven't told anyone." And so Clyde was like, "Then we're all good, EJ." But anyway, so that takes us back to Belle and EJ. And she's just telling him about, he was like, "Something seems wrong or off with you." And so she tells him about Sean getting Jan to stay out of prison longer, and about the baby being named after him. And so she said, "I, made me feel good. Halle Berry wants to ball." And so EJ is like, "Okay, I will oblige." She's like, pick up where we left off." I'm like, "Dang, it was a murder in that house. How y'all staying there?" I'm so anyway, so they about to get all intimate and stuff, but not knowing that somebody's outside the door, and that somebody is Sammy, because Sammy done came back, right? So she goes to the hotel with Lucas, and she's like, "Lucas, what's going on?" Now, Lucas done tore up the hotel because he done found out that the missing jewelry is what they're thinking that somebody took, and he's tearing up the hotel because he don't remember anything. So he wants to see if he hid the missing jewelry out at his place, but he didn't. And Sammy's just like, why did you do all this?" And he tells her, "Because I was looking, I'm not holding y'all long on this, because I was looking for a ring." And she says, she can't marry. So he goes, "I wanted to marry you." And she said, "I can't marry you because EJ never signed the divorce papers and everything." She said, "I'm going to go over there and talk to him about signing." She said, "I can't believe he would think I would want to be with somebody who kidnapped me." Now remember, Lucas is the one who actually kidnapped her. But she said, "I can't believe he would think I would want to be with him. So I'm gonna go over there." And EJ was like, Lucas was just like, "Why don't we just have the lawyers take care of it?" She said, "No, I'm gonna do it because we already tried the lawyer, so I'm just gonna handle this or whatever." So that's why she's outside about to ring the doorbell while EJ and Bill are on the inside of the Mirror Mansion kissing. It wasn't much with her and Lucas. Lucas just feeling guilty about Abigail and about the kidnapping of Sammy, and he's just holding a lot of secrets. So then we go to, speaking of Clyde, child, Nancy meets up with, okay, so not Belle, but Chloe and Brady, they just in the middle of the little park area, and everybody just running into them. So they run into Leo first, and Brady accuses Leo of doing that to Abigail, and he said, first of all, I ain't do that. He was like, I wanted revenge, but not like that. And he was like, plus I'm done with I'm not gonna hold you long. Plus I'm done with the whole revenge. They go back and forth over their words, and Brady said, why don't you just come after me instead of coming after all them, and we can handle it right here. And I'm like, ugh. I don't know why I'm like that. Like, I like bad people on the soaps, and I can't stand these self righteous people. I'm like, oh my gosh. Moving right along, Brady is just like, we can handle it right here. And Leo said, that wouldn't be a fair fight. And he was like, plus, I'm done with the whole revenge thing. So he leaves. Now, we do see that Leo, like, X's Abigail off his list and everything, and but I don't know if he's done with revenge or not. I don't think he is, so we'll see about Leo. But anyway, so Nancy runs into Leo and Brady, and she's telling them, excuse me, not Leo, Chloe and Brady, and she's telling them about everything that went on between she and Leo, about how he told them, y'all he told her to send them a message that they were next on his list or whatever. And Brady was like, yeah, I believe that. And so Clyde comes up, and she's going out on her date with Clyde, and Chloe and them are like, ugh, I can't see, he gives me the creeps, I can't stand it. But there's nothing they can do. That Nancy wants to be with him. So he and Nancy go in to Roman's pub and everything, and they sit down, and he hides the jewelry, but he takes Abigail's bracelet and he gives it to Nancy, talking about, I didn't have it wrapped because I wanted to give it to you straight. I said, giving that woman that hot jewelry, you're gonna get Nancy in trouble. But anyway, so that's it with them. Who else they show today? So then we see that Sean runs into Brady and Chloe as well, and Chloe says, yeah, Bill told me that, it's over with them. And he was like, not that I wanted it, or whatever, the divorce, and to be legally single and all that. He thought they could work it out, but he doesn't think they can. I'm not gonna hold you long on that. That was pretty much it with that. I'm sorry, hold on, let me see if because I think I'm done with this soap today. I mean, honestly, it wasn't that much to it. Yep, that's it. Yeah, that was pretty much it with that soap today. I mean, Victor was the 10 for me, because the soap really, it was probably like a 7. But Victor was so funny to me, I gave him a 10, and he could just share it with the rest of them. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Have a safe Friday. Friday and weekend. Be blessed. I will see you Monday for a new episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But even if you don't subscribe, that's okay. I'll still be making these videos for you, but hit that love button for me. All right, bye.